New restaurant technology. Welcome to Rising Tides Live. I'm your host, Sean Walchef. This is a Cali BBQ Media production. We are live streaming on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you are in the world. We want you to join us. If you were at the National Restaurant Show and you found some new technology, we would love to hear what you found, why you're excited about it. If you weren't at the show and there's some restaurant technology that we should be talking about, please join us. You can go to betheshow.media/rising tides and you can join this show. It's always better when we have more voices up here on stage. It was an incredible 5 days. The show was 4 days long in Chicago. If you haven't been to the National Restaurant Show, I hope that the content that we make inspires you to go there. So many in this community were there. We had so many great conversations, podcasts, YouTube content, restaurant technology Substack. So we launched a restaurant technology Substack newsletter. You can go to Substack and subscribe to that. But today's show is all about you, all about the audience, and hopefully we can learn something maybe that we missed. Just a reminder, the show is 12 football fields long. There were over 53,000 people there. It's an enormous show, so there's no possible way for any one person to see it all, but we've got storytellers from all over the floor that can help us illuminate the things that we should be thinking about for our restaurants, for our businesses, and any cool stories that we got from Chicago. So let's go ahead and welcome Dan Dickerson from F3. Dan was the host of our Rising Tides party, our day one. We partied happy hour with the San Diablo churros. Shout out to Scott Porter for bringing amazing, incredible churros, and shout out to anybody in this community that came in real life. And we have Maria from Polona. Maria, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. First, Dan, take 60 seconds. Who are you? What does F3 do? And then share a story about technology from Chicago. Go for it.
Yeah, my name is Dan Dickerson with F3 IT. I head up our managed services division as well as some of our emerging field service operations. The show itself was great. I think the big thing with what I learned is that there's a lot of technology out there. And with a lot of technology out there comes a need for good restaurant consulting and those that know the business, but also those that build partnerships with folks like Maria and others out in the industry to really know when we're working with those customers and those operators, what is the best fit based on what we're hearing? A lot of times I see operators just Googling things and looking at websites and there's numbers and things all over the place. But it's like, but what is the right fit for me? So we help connect those restaurant operators to those programs and those partners and ensure that they have a great fit, not just product wise, but culture wise. And that's a pleasure to meet Maria on Monday as well, and Chris and the team there. So but yeah, and then we also go through and do things, implementation with point of sale providers, and I could go on and on and on, but I'll turn it over to Maria.
Give us an idea of the size and scope of F3. How many technicians do you have? Where do you guys work?
Yeah,
people work with you guys?
Yep, we're about 100 employees, just over 100 employees, and we service primarily the U.S., Canada, and the U.K.
Amazing. And you guys launched a YouTube channel, I hear?
Yeah, with the support of the Cali Barbecue team. I apologize. There's so much going on post NRA. Yes, we have a YouTube channel, a Facebook group, our page rather, Instagram, TikTok. We're on the whole plethora of things. Thanks to Sean and his team for helping us kind of platform into those environments, because I am not a social media person. So I'm very thankful for those that are very good at it.
Well, it's it's a testament to the team. Shout out to Cam and everyone that's been working on the F3 account. But we can't do it without clients that believe in what they're doing for the industry. The more that we talk to people that work with the F3 team, the boots on the ground, that are actually helping restaurants run more profitable restaurants, have technology that supports so that when shit does break, it actually gets fixed in a timely manner. So thank you for doing that. Maria, welcome to the show. We got to do our digital hospitality episode live from the show. Can you take some time and let the community know who are you and what is Polona?
Yeah, so I'm a longtime technologist. Most recently, I was at Google. I left Google last year, and together with a couple other computer scientists and friends, Team Halls, Steve, Calvin, we started Polona. And we want to bring the most advanced AI technology, right? The technology that's powering ChatGPT, Gemini, and so forth, but really bring this technology to the restaurant industry. And I'm an amateur chef, but I love cooking for my entire family. Cooking and food is our language of love. Yeah. So that's kind of the intersection of kind of my profession. I had a pretty successful career in technology, but I get to bring my personal passion and technology, mix it together. So in my career, I also worked at Instagram, at Meta. And,
What did
it
you
was
what
called
did you do at
Facebook
what
when
did
I
you do at
was there.
Instagram? What did you do at
I
Instagram?
Yeah, so my team actually was I was hired to drive they call the consumer experience, the sharing experience team, and to compete with TikTok when TikTok was coming up and Reels came out of the team I supported, and then I was moved to focus on AI actually, right? Because I really believe to be competitive in the market, you have to master AI. And I think it's true for the restaurant industry too, right? Not just for the tech industry. But my career, a long career, I also spent years at Microsoft. But what people most likely to ask me about is I was a CTO at Tinder. Yeah, so everybody asked me at Tinder, even at an RA show. We were walking by a group of people, a friend of mine, and he was hanging out with his team. He's like, Maria, that's a CTO at Tinder. I was like, that's not the only thing I've done. And they were all asking me tips. They're all asking me tips about Tinder profile, which I'd be happily, I would say it's probably a little outdated.
It's a little outdated tips.
But when I joined Tinder was a small startup. And when I left Tinder was doing over $1 billion a year in revenue, and they continue to grow to do, over $2 billion a year. And also just the impact, right? The social impact. I've met a lot of couples and I get babies were born because, so I love to share that story.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Can you share with the community? We haven't shared on this show what we're doing with Polona, but can you give them a glimpse into the things that we're doing over at Cali Barbecue?
Yes, I can't wait. I think it's imminent. We're going to release the Polona AI experience at Cali Barbecue. So right now, if you call, you will hear the lovely voice of Sean, but it's just an automated recording. And then I think one of the message that you were recorded for Mother's Day, and it was very heartfelt. And you just said it's the busiest day. Our staff are busy. Appreciate you calling, but we're not going to answer your phone, right? In the most polite and empathetic way. But your customers were calling you for a reason, right? They want to order food. They want to see if you're busy. And if no one answered the phone, they probably go somewhere else, right? Yeah. So I think every missed call is a missed opportunity. And not just missed opportunity for a $50, $90 order, but a missed opportunity to build that relationship, to strengthen that loyalty, right? To welcome them to your restaurants. Yeah. So with Polona AI, you will hear Sean's voice, but you can also talk with Sean for as long as you want. And then that's Sean AI. Yeah. Yeah. Sean, you named it Sean AI.
Yes, I did.
And we're doing some tweaking, right? Your coworker said, Sean,
my team is calling. Yes. Can we release the number to this community and have them call and give feedback? Is that helpful?
Sure. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Stover, please add the phone number, and anybody that's watching this, we're trying to build. For me, this couldn't be more exciting. I mean, I've been podcasting since 2017, and the fact that you're using previous podcasts, that I did with Shaquille O'Neal to train the AI agent, but literally it's the essence of digital hospitality. It's how can we leverage technology to be better as a restaurant and to scale. And if as your team builds it out, we want to give as much feedback as possible so that we can help, because it's not about our restaurant. If you have a solution like this, it's about every restaurant on earth that has the opportunity to really use AI in the best way possible. And this is just the beginning. This is just, just from the telephone standpoint. Forget about all the other ways that you're going to be able to help us.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There's the phone number. There's the phone number. Have fun. Record yourself talking to Sean AI. I'm going to have my wife call Sean AI. I'm going to have my kids call Sean AI, and we'll do some content. But we believe in building in public. And Maria, we're so grateful for Polona to help us test this, make it better, and release it so that our community in Spring Valley can actually get better hospitality.
Yeah, thank you for including us on this journey. And we're still iterating and learning and exploring, right? And then we'll always fine tune, right? That's what's amazing about this generative AI technology, because it's more flexible and more adaptive, right? Than the prior version. You write the code and then the code is there. It's very hard to make a change. But now this generative technology, it's a lot more adaptive. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you. Yeah, please, team, whoever's calling, whoever's part of this community, give us that feedback. Actually, you could probably just tell Sean AI the feedback, right?
Yes,
and
yes,
that goes directly to Polona.
Yes. Yes.
Just let Maria know Sean should do this, and this, and that's probably the best feedback that we can give.
But please be nice to Sean AI.
Have some hospitality with me, please.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Maria, what was what was something that interested you from the show? Being a technologist and walking the floor, is there something that was interesting to you or that you didn't expect? Something memorable?
Yeah, of course, right. One is, I have to say, it's the food, and then we'll talk about the technology. If you ask me, I will say technology cannot be competing with food, and I was just really focused on these amazing just kind of on the culinary side, right? And even because I also I love cooking, I was also checking out the knives, the apron, the oven. One thing that piqued my interest is I love ramen. There is a machine that makes perfect ramen. And I think it's meant for restaurants. It's not meant for home use, but I was like, can I buy one? I want to buy one and put it in the office or something. Yeah, but I actually ate it. It was just really good. I think it's about the precision, right? And of course, we can all make ramen, right? But I think it's that level of precision and consistency. It's also a really nice form factor. The ramen making robot.
Amazing. Yeah, there was some soy sauce that I tried. Cam, who's our YouTube producer, he was walking the floor with us. He said he stopped in his tracks. He's like, "This is the best soy sauce in the world." And I'm like, "Okay, then I have to try it." But I tried it on some ramen, and it was absolutely phenomenal. So,
right? Yeah.
We'll have lots of videos to come from Chicago.
Yeah.
Dan, what was your memorable moment? And then we'll bring some people up on stage so you guys can ask Dan and Maria any questions about what they do or technology in general, or something that you found cool at the show. Go for it, Dan.
Yeah, I've got two. First, I've been following along with Hot Dog Gate, because apparently Nathan's Hot Dog was memorably missed this year.
Hot Dog Gate, I like it. Get into the controversy. Explain for those that don't know.
Yeah, so Nathan's Hot Dogs has been a staple at the show and something I enjoy grabbing every day. And I searched the entire floor and could not find it. And apparently I was not the only one that was sadly disappointed that they did not have a booth this year. So just following along with the color commentary to Hot Dog Gate. And then, a little bit for us was just growing to a point where we were able to kind of sit back and enjoy the show. For those that don't know us, we're a scrappy team. We build our own booths. We do all our own work. And this year we were able to kind of have the fortune of having a team help us and assist us in that. It allowed us to really focus on the relationships with you, Sean, and with you, Maria, and Dan and I and Hunter and the entire team. Shout out to the IT team to really be engaged. After a couple of days of building a booth, if you've never done it, it's a painstaking process. But it was good to just see and reconnect with everyone. As a remote company, you kind of feel like a little kid at the school playground. Like you're seeing everyone, you're giving handshakes and high fives and hugs, and that's always my favorite piece there. But it's also cool to see our partners grow and just seeing what they're getting into and hearing from folks, and just, again, kind of that ecosystem of all these partnerships coming together.
Yeah, amazing. Well, Mike, go ahead and start bringing up the community. The more people we get on stage, the better. Adam, the Wi-Fi guy, you're up. You weren't at the show, but is there any restaurant technology that's piquing your interest? Go for it. 60 seconds. Who are you and what are you building? And then share some restaurant tech with us.
Okay, firstly, can you hear me?
I can hear you. You did it. You did it.
I always have my challenges, but I'm on the Mac today.
But you're a man of persistence, which is why we love you so much.
It's always got to work, right? Okay. I mean, restaurant tech's exploding. The voice AI. I just had a little conversation actually with you,
Adam. I'm going to interrupt you real quickly and have Troy Hooper go, since looks like he's on a plane and he has limited time.
Hi, Troy.
Make a grand appearance.
Well,
Troy, this is how you cut the line. Is you come to us in very vulnerable situations.
Can you
go
hear
ahead.
Me?
Yeah, we can.
Can you
Go
hear
ahead.
Me? Okay. It's a little loud. We got a rowdy crowd. Everybody's excited. Memorial Day weekend. This is flight 1480 something. We're at LAX. We're headed to Los Cabos, San Lucas, Mexico. There's a lot of excited people on this plane. We're about to clock out. Troy Hooper and the Hoopers are clocking out. So anyway, yeah, post NRA. NRA is the last event before this family goes on vacation every year. It's been 54 weeks, so excited to hear the intro and listen to the show so far. But we are say hi, Hoopers. Hi.
Hi, Aaron. Hi, Austin.
We are headed out, and we're sitting on the tarmac here at LAX, getting ready to push back. And just wanted to say hi and bye to everybody. I'll miss you guys.
What was the coolest thing you saw at the show, real quickly? Technology. Oh, and by the way, you've got to call Sean AI. I don't even think
I heard.
Oh, you did?
I heard. No, I had not heard about this until just now.
Yeah, Maria's team's been using our podcast with Shaq and everybody else to build out Sean AI. So, Troy, you need to have I need Troy to record the conversation that you have with me, or my AI.
Yeah, it's going in and out, guys. But the coolest thing I saw at the show was actually that podcast setup that they did. All those booths, all those tables, the suites to have multiple podcasts. Sean, give you all the credit in the world for getting those people at Informa to do it right and make it so that not only could you do a podcast, but 3 or 4 other shows could be going on at the same time. I thought that was one of the coolest things. And of course, the fact that Greener Pastures Chicken showed up for the first time to the NRA show 2025. We're involved there with the Kiwi group. So we were really excited to have Von Miller and Greener Pastures Chicken at the show. Tasty yum yum. So anyway, love all y'all. Miss all y'all. Sorry I couldn't make the Wednesday show, but we'll be back next week.
Have fun. Take some time off. Airplane mode, Troy.
See you guys.
Yeah, bye. Adam, you're up.
Hi.
All right. Sorry for interrupting you.
No. It's all good. Plane goes first. So funny enough, as I was mentioning, I had a lovely conversation with Sean AI about 2 minutes ago.
Oh, really?
I was very happy to pay the international call charges from the UK to that number. And it told me to definitely go for the tailgater. So if I, next time I do fly to the US, which will hopefully next year because we're expanding, with some help from Dan Dickerson up there. He's up there somewhere for me. But the voice AI thing is going crazy, absolutely mental. There's so many different platforms that are coming out that are trying their best. Some not so great. So I will say the one I called for you didn't do the whole immediately pause, not know what I'm about to say, and then break middle. So it was actually really nice flow. So Maria, good props on that one. That was really nice because it's really difficult when you see all the platforms out there and they just as you interrupt them, it breaks and you can tell it's a computer. Do you know what I mean? There's just no. With the one that I tested earlier, and I've tested quite a few in the last couple of weeks, they've been really poor with that horrible sort of Twilio basic interruption piece. But so the voice AI thing, I think one of the nicest things we've seen is the integration into reservations, direct integration. So instead of just asking you questions, it will book straight through, query, you can edit and update. I was listening to a Stephen Bartlett podcast this week, and he ordered on DoorDash via his little AI agent who went straight through and ordered. So the AI thing is crazy. I will say for anyone who's looking at it, definitely start looking at the AI agents and see what it can do. There's some amazing stuff. You don't need to build tech anymore. You can build a little piece of software and let the AI agents do the rest. So it's definitely something to look at. For me, I'm making America great again with Wi-Fi. That's what I'm doing.
You're
I'm letting your restaurants in America to actually use your first-party data, because no one bloody sends any emails in America. It's like, we're not going to speak to our customers. They're just going to come and maybe we'll send them a text message via their cell phone. So I'm on a mission to help all Americans to in hospitality to bring bums back on seats and send emails and automation and plugins. We're plugging into people like Paytronics and Centivio and Como and some really cool tools. I'm also building a little reservationsy thing, but the Wi-Fi is the way forward. And with help from the man that can, which is Dan Dickerson, we're doing some cool stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So
amazing. Thank you, Adam. We appreciate it. Elizabeth Doss, Mike is yours. Go ahead.
Hey guys, I'm in a special secret location today, and my sister is joining me.
Hey, what's up?
Hey. So all of the stories that I've told in the past of about Mary and catering and all this stuff, she's the one that's actually worked in the hospitality industry for how long? Since she was 15.
Long time.
And so we were having a conversation today about tech and because she deals more with technology stuff too, and has just started this new position, and so is being onboarded with Toast and stuff, and so she is trying to learn all of those things.
I've worked with a lot of POS systems, but this is a new one that I've been playing with a little bit. So
yeah. And so I was asking her about some of the tech part of it for her, and she loves that it does have a lot of features. But so she was saying sometimes it's too much tech, and she wishes there was just a version that was just like a quick, I got to get this done.
I got to get the invoice in, and I don't want to attach menu items to menu items and then this, or making a whole button for every single thing that I have to. Sometimes I have customers that want to know like immediately, like how much an event would be, how much would it be to add this on. And that's the part that's been a little bit new with this one. I didn't feel like it was, it's different.
Have you found any of the Toast resource tools? The YouTube
I have,
videos?
and I actually even took an online class last week to try to learn.
Okay.
And it was helpful with some things, but there's still a lot of things where I'm like, oh, how do I attach revenue centers to this? And I want to make sure I can track my catering sales. And that's the type of stuff that I don't know yet. I feel like I need to go to like school to learn about all the things that it can do. Like, I feel like it's a major research thing that I've got to work on.
Any advice, Dan?
I'll say I know a guy, I know a team. I would love to connect with you and put you.
Are you Toast?
Shameless plug, F3IT. We do work with Toast. More than happy to throw a couple hours.
I would love to learn all about the catering stuff, because all of the back of the house, the restaurant stuff, I got all that down. I can add menu items, I can do that, but catering, there's a lot of options, and it's awesome having a lot of options in one sense, but in another sense, I'm like, I'm just trying to get an invoice out and I just want to get it paid, like that sort of thing. So
the guy Ryan Miller, he is our catering king. I'm more than happy to connect.
Hey, I would love to connect. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Anyway, so I figured she had more to say about it than I did. One more thing though, one of the restaurants that she's helping catering stuff, they actually have several robots on the floor, and she has some thoughts about robots.
Let's share them. Share the robot thoughts.
I love the robots. I think it.
I do too, actually.
I think they're fun. People love them. Like, I watch people in the restaurant, and they're like, "Oh, kids absolutely love them." Either people love them or they don't. Yeah, it's not. There's not a middle ground sort of thing. I think that it can be used as a tool for the servers, or it can be used as a crutch for the servers. And that's where my little issue kind of comes. I think it takes away with, if you're trying to build a culture for the restaurant and a personality for the restaurant and a connection, because that's, to me, when I've waited tables, that's how I make connections with people. I talk to them, I find out their dog's name, I find out this, and those little interim times that I'm dropping off food, I think is integral to doing that. And that's how you build repeat. So that's where I have a little bit of, I think, balancing that is really, really important. But from a sales side, I think that promoting, I think it would be a blast to put eyes, maybe dress up your robot, maybe have a contest and name your robot in the community, to try to get them more involved with their robot.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what it's there for. I mean, it's there for the fun of it. Every server knows how to run food. We don't necessarily need, I mean, some places I guess would, but you know what I mean? Like it's more of a fun thing that people enjoy.
Yeah.
But all the customers love it for the most part that I've seen. For the most part. Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as it's not taking over the server's personality.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That to me makes a connection when you make connections with customers and you build that rapport. So that's my only, as a event coordinator, it's fun. It's awesome. It's a great thing. As a server, I don't know if I'd be excited about it because I like to touch tables with my customers and make that money.
Yeah.
But that's
Makes
just me.
sense.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Is there a robot person on here? Did I just offend somebody?
No robot people.
The robot person. Okay.
Adam's a robot guy.
I'm like, did I offend a robot? It is fun. They do like it.
We did some really cool robot stuff with Bear Robotics at the show. That we have some videos that we're going to share. They did an integration
our robot even sang
with Toast handhelds.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Yeah.
Anyway, I just was so excited that I finally get to introduce you to,
Of course.
one of my understanding. I ask her questions that I don't dare not ask on here.
Well,
Anyway.
I don't think we need to tell you, but Elizabeth's a rock star. She's been a pillar of our community. She does so much
At everything she does.
everybody that comes on. So
Is this the remarkable?
No,
okay.
Richard's not on today.
Okay.
oh, Richard's not. Yeah, don't be boring.
Yeah.
Don't be boring. Not on today.
Yeah. But shout out to Richard. Anyway, back to you, Sean.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Scott Turner in the house. Scott Turner, 60 seconds. Who are you? What are you building? And let's share some restaurant technology or hotel technology, whatever you want to share. Go for it.
The hotel side is a disaster. We'll focus on restaurants. Hi everyone, I'm Scott Turner. Don't be boring, Richard Liverman just texted me from his sofa in his slippers because he's too tired to come on because he was up late last night. Too tired.
He better be watching. He better be watching on YouTube.
Letting the Brits down, and I heard Adam say he's going to try and help the US sort Wi-Fi out. It'd be good if he could sort the UK out first. Hi, I am Scott Turner. I am the founder of Modern Hospitality. We are helping hotels do food and beverage in a much more bold and exciting way. Like I said, the legacy tech in hotels is a disaster. Let's not worry about that. We are opening a restaurant right now in London, though, and one of the things that we've been doing is building the tech stack for the owner. And we've been filming it all the way through. And it's really interesting. We're going to finish it up actually with there's me and my ops guy, Val. Chris Fletcher is going to do a moderated kind of like interview with us on the I won't tell you what Richard just texted me. He's thrown me off with his expletives. Yes. A few things on it is I've done a lot of tech stacks and I've wasted a lot of money for people. I've shared this before when I was in the investment business. I wasted so much money on bad decisions on tech. So I thought I knew every question to ask. And when we've gone through the process, there's still things that catch you out in the process. So I think anyone who's listening to this and is going through the process or has made mistakes or finding something where an integration isn't happening or something like that, even people who wasted lots of money before and think they've nailed the formula can still do it. One prime example, we had two systems. I won't say which ones they were. On their website, both of them said they had an integration. When we came to ask them to do the integration, there wasn't an integration and neither of them had taken the logo off the website. And I trolled through my AI notes. There's a good example of AI. Couldn't find where I thought I'd brought this up in a conversation. Went through the emails where I thought I might have had a second conversation about this and it wasn't in there. So I've taken it on the website, good as red, and it's too late now to do anything about it. So it's not a huge thing because there is a fairly decent workaround, but it just goes to show, like, make sure that all those things are on a checklist or something and you're not just taking the website as read because there could be some little secrets hidden in the locker there that doesn't help. But yeah, we're building it. I think one of the back to what Elizabeth's friend was saying is we've just signed up to an inventory system here in the UK which now reads the invoices in your inbox and sends them into the inventory system that then sends it to the accounting system. So now what we've been able to do is we've been able to eliminate all reconciliation of food and beverage invoices from the site. And it's literally now a bookkeeper who's checking the invoice has been uploaded by the AI into the system properly, and it hits reconcile. So we've literally eliminated that whole process out of the site just through this AI tool that can pick up the invoice automatically from whatever inbox it's going to. And I just think some of those tools, which is what I say to people about tech right now, and we did the tech stack list, and it had a phenomenal amount of money. I think it was like between £1,500, so £1,500 to £2,000, depending on which way we wanted to go. So it's a lot of money monthly for a store.
You put the pricing in there in the video?
Yeah. We put
I love it. Fantastic.
I've got the spreadsheet of
Amazing.
I've got the meeting
of
when I presented it really badly to the owner. So you'll get to see that my bad pitch. But anyway, where we're at with it's a phenomenal amount of money when you think about what that is equivalent across the year. But what we did was we really looked at what tech could get managers out of offices back onto the floor. So we're either putting them in front of the guest where it counts, or it means that we're able to be more efficient with the manning because we're putting the best people back on the floor. And I think that's the real key for me for hospitality tech is fundamentally it's going to make your team's life easier to take cash, or it's going to make your team's life more automated on the back end of the admin stuff, which means they can be on the floor taking the cash. And that's the bit that I think when we were doing our tech stack, we really kept going back to those questions of, can it enable taking money quicker, or can it get someone out of an office for more hours in the week? Mm-hmm. And it was a really interesting benchmark as we were deciding, do we spend 1,500 and £2,000? And we ended up at 1,800. So we ended up towards the top end, and some of it was when we've gone with Marquee, for example, Sean. Yep. And when I explained to the owner what it was and how much time it would save his team, he was like, "That's a no-brainer for the price. We're signing up tomorrow." There was the bits where we were talking about the the payment, ordering at table outside and payment at table and that type of thing that were just really easy sells in terms of an add-on. And again, the AI reading of invoices and stuff like that, it really helps sell it. So again, I guess my last message on this would be, if you're putting together a tech stack to take to an owner, a boss, an exec team, or whatever it might be, some of the ROI of how you can make life easier really does become a really easy sell, where almost they don't listen to the rest of the pitch because they understand what it saves. And I think that was a real valuable lesson for me, as well as check the website is actually right.
I have a homework assignment for you. Did you hear the beginning of the show?
Probably after 5-6 minutes.
You heard about the Sean AI that we've launched at Cali Barbecue?
No.
So Maria and Polona have launched Sean AI based off of my podcast. So
okay.
I need you to call that number and interact with Sean AI and give us feedback.
Okay, I'm on it. Let's do it.
And I want you to record it too.
Okay, let's do it.
Scott and I are gonna make some content in Bulgaria this summer that I can't wait for. Black Sea Bulgarian hotel and restaurant content. So
100%.
Smartphone storytelling, we're all in. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it.
No,
Bruce Nelson, 60 seconds. Who are you? What are you working on? And share the coolest technology that you interacted with in Chicago or learned about.
Well, I'm Bruce Nelson. I'm in the Twin Cities, Minnesota, and I started this business as a dishwasher at age 13. And through some miraculous twist of fate, restaurant owners now trust me with their bank accounts. Had a great time at the show. I went with 3 questions in mind. I wanted to see if anybody had an AI overlay my tech stack where I could put in chat-like questions and get responses. Second question was, is there anybody that's got an AI bot that can audit the data between different pieces of my tech stack, like a POS and my accounting system? And the third question was, Is there anybody that's actually taking the AI driven information and actually coming up with actionable items that our managers can do versus dashboards or reports? So that was my big quest. A lot of stuff there. And I do apologize if there's anybody out there that I didn't see. I couldn't get around the whole show.
Awesome.
On the first two questions, I found people that were aggregating all the data, but I didn't find anybody that was actually doing the chat-like responses yet, but I'm sure we're getting close. I could not find anybody that was actually using AI to audit the data going between different parts of my tech stack, but I did find Jordan with Starfish is
Silverman.
actually doing
Jordan
what
Silverman.
I wanted
Yeah.
on the third question. And he's actually breaking this down to, instead of just giving me a dashboard or give me some kind of reports that we all know in the restaurant industry, no frontline manager's ever going to read or respond to. They're now breaking it down to the 4 or 5 key KPI driven responses based on real-time data that our managers can start responding to. So I'm very excited to follow up with Jordan next week and see how I can bring that back to our stores. I'll do a shout out to F3. I didn't know you existed, but you're also coming back to some of my clients that have been asking for the services you have. So thank you for hosting that. I very much appreciate that. So that's my take on the NRA.
Oh, we appreciate you, Bruce. Thank you. Maria, do you have any response from a technologist standpoint of the challenges or the questions that Bruce was seeking, and maybe why the industry or the market isn't ready yet?
Yeah, I'm taking notes, first of all, right? I think I want to better understand the market. The restaurant business is very complex, right? And the technology stack is also very complex, and I have to say highly fragmented, more fragmented than, other technology industry that I worked in. For example, digital advertisement, right? You got Google, you got Facebook, and kind of like now TikTok, right? But in the restaurant industry, there are just so many providers, and they all have slightly different flavor and focus and layers, right? So Bruce, what you brought up, I think it's a really good product idea. So I will do some more research. For us right now, we kind of started with front of the house. And why? Because that's what I know, right? Because I've eaten at many, like everybody else, right? I kind of know that I never worked in the kitchen, and I don't pretend that I know what it's like or run a restaurant business, right? So it's definitely opportunity to learn, but just kind of knowing the industry and some of the other technology providers, I think it's on the docket of a lot of these technology companies. But this technology is it seems easy, but it's actually quite hard to work with, right? There are a lot of challenges, right? Including compute costs, right? Including problems with hallucination, right? So you have to put in strong guardrails, right? So I think maybe timing wise, it still needs a little bit more time for these other technology companies that focus on, kind of the back of the house, from supply chain management, inventory management, to accounting, to finances, to CRM, to come up with an adequate and strong solution. But I totally share the same belief as you do, Bruce, that it will come. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you, Maria.
I'm sure it will. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Laura, mic is yours. Go for it. 60 seconds. Who are you? What are you building? And any cool restaurant technology that you learned about or are excited about or have questions about? Go for it.
Okay. Hi, Laura Wilbur here. I believe showing up is 80% of success. And thank you all for showing up today. I'm really here to learn about the best restaurant technology for my restaurant partners. I'm in the business of showing up for my restaurant clients and bringing friends. And by friends, I mean 21 million expense account diners who are traveling for business, doing dine-in, carry-out, ordering catering, and booking private events. And the number one thing I hear from my restaurant clients lately is that catering is a hot thing that a lot of restaurants are focused on today. And I think Elizabeth might have dropped off, but Mary, it was fun to meet you. And we do hear so much about you here in this community. So interesting to think about what can POS technology do related to catering. I haven't heard about that. But the thing that I'm hearing a lot about is the restaurant clients wanting more direct orders as opposed to being forced to go through third party for the customers anyway. They're trying to figure out, how do I drive more direct sales? How do I, and there are great solutions out there like ezCater, but on the catering side, some of the clients are feeling like that could be kind of a competitor. And how do they get people to book directly with them? So that's a question that I have for the group as to any technology out there that makes it easier for customers to book direct. Another example of that is when for restaurants that take reservations. Not all of them do, but there are a lot of restaurants that have OpenTable as their link, which is another great solution. It's just, do they have any other type of way to take direct reservations as opposed to sending everything through? So those are my main two questions, again, that come up in the conversations I have every day with restaurant owners and leaders.
Does anybody want to take that? I mean, I know Toast has products, at least for Toast restaurants, Toast tables. We have Toast catering. We also use a company called ShipDay for first party. So you can order delivery through our website, which is first party, but then ShipDay will help us use local drivers to get that delivered. Anybody else?
I met them. I met them at the Food on Demand conference.
Moyne is amazing. Yeah, he's one of our clients, and he does amazing work. Yeah, he's really, really, when you think of like global logistics, I think they have clients in over 100 countries, not just restaurants, but also retail clients. So he knows a lot about the e-commerce space and how it relates, how restaurants can run more profitable delivery businesses.
Okay, good to hear it.
Check out ShipDay. Steven Swiderski. Who are you? What are you building? What's your feedback for Maria? You called Sean AI?
Yeah, I called Sean AI probably like 15 times yesterday.
And how did I do?
You've
talked to me enough in real life. Now you've talked to my AI agent.
Okay, so Sean AI is very knowledgeable.
Very knowledgeable. 100%. That's good.
But there are some flaws that I was able to pick out.
Okay, so let's get them.
A lot of people have like gluten sensitivity, allergies, or celiac. I asked one good question of, does our cheese sauce and buffalo sauce contain anything of gluten or wheat? Sean AI got the cheese sauce right. It does have wheat in it. It has flour. The buffalo sauce he got wrong because it does have flour as a thickening agent. So that's one big thing that is something that should be corrected.
Hold on. I would love to learn, Maria, how does Sean AI get recipe specific content?
Yeah, so it's a combination of just general knowledge, right? Because the AI was trained on encyclopedia and all the content on the internet. So it does have general knowledge, and then the knowledge base, right? Specific to, and we just kind of grabbed everything that's published on your website. And Stephen, that part probably is not on your website.
So if we give you access to, we're onboarding with Mies for recipe costing. Yeah. If we give you access to the Mies data, would that be helpful?
Yeah, that's just part of the onboarding process. Whatever you teach Sean AI would know. And if you haven't taught him, I think general knowledge wise, kind of cheese sauce are more likely to have gluten and barbecue sauce are less likely to have gluten. It probably just made an educated estimate or based on the common knowledge that he has. But yes, we can always over time just continue to improve the knowledge base. Stephen, that's a really good catch. Yeah, we'll make sure, we upload that bit so that Sean AI knows accurately and not just guessing. Yeah.
I just run into the fact of like the customers always ask those questions. So I'm like,
yeah, those are very important. The nutrition, allergen. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the other question was,
What about catering specific?
So catering specific, I asked if I could place a catering order, and obviously you can't place it via AI. It has to be directed to the website. The website was hard to.
Not yet, right?
Not yet. Correct. The website was very hard to understand.
Mm-hmm.
It went way too quick, and it was very mumbled.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other question I asked about the peach cobbler, it said we don't sell it,
Mm-hmm.
which that's the only dessert we have on our website and that we have in-house.
Yeah, I think we just really need to strengthen the knowledge base, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of part of the process. Yeah,
Right,
it's
we're going
great.
through
So
everything.
like
We're catching all of these.
the irony is the knowledge base for the catering comes from Steven. So like, you know, from the document, I mean, I don't know. I'm just curious to how we can get to the point where Sean AI can actually take a legitimate, you know, $1,000 catering order and do it the right way, and process it through Toast Catering. That would be phenomenal.
That's great. Yeah. So there the ways to do it. One is you just write it down, right? Like gave you instructions to Sean, right?
Mhm.
And then just be very clear, right? In the conditions, price, and so on and so forth. And Sean and I will remember everything you taught him and answer accordingly. The other way to do it is gave some sample dialogues, right? So you can have recorded conversations of discussions with clients on catering, ordering, or you can just write them based on your memory, and then Sean AI can mimic that discussion.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Anything else, Stephen? We've got some
YouTube.
We have some YouTube comments and LinkedIn comments, but go ahead, Stephen.
Oh, I have like 35 more notes, but those were the.
Send them in.
Please, let's connect on Slack, and let's go over all the notes together.
We'll get you on the Slack channel if you're not on there anyways.
Other than that, no, those were the big major ones.
Mm-hmm.
Adam, the Wi-Fi guy, I don't know if you saw the note, but Loisant Gordon from Nair's Tavern, he wants to connect with you. Please follow up with him on LinkedIn. And Richard's asking for the panel. A lot of companies, tech companies, create systems that are way too complicated for the end user to use. They don't have the time or resources to learn it. How does a tech company solve these types of problems? Dan or Maria, do you want to take that?
I mean, that's where our niche is, right? Is we're there to take that.
You don't need to do it, just call us.
Yeah, just call us. Honestly, that's exactly why F3 and F3IT exist. Is, as I said earlier, there are thousands of integrations, thousands of ways to skin the cat, if you will, and operators don't have time for that. And that's really where we kind of shine. And shout out and thank you to everyone that's called on F3. I would say honestly to find a great partner, F3 being one of them. If you have a local group that you have that relationship with, obviously chat with them, but really find folks that you trust that you can outsource it to. I don't want to say just outsource it to anybody, but someone that knows your business, that has a vested interest in your success, and that will give you a fair price and a great product and a great experience.
Can I just weigh in on this one? Just because one of the things that we've found with this is, and we've been using a reseller for the POS, and then the rest of it has been direct on like inventory and HR. Is even when you go through and this might be different in your case, but I'll just give you some of the example for us is you go through a reseller or you go through any of the tech guys and they go, we're going to help you do the setup, and you pay a decent amount of setup fee to get them to help you set up, but they can't set anything up until the operator has done their Google Sheets, which has taken us, because we've been logging it for the video, 75 hours of one person's time to do EPOS, to do inventory, to do HR, to do marquee. But marquee isn't huge, but it takes time. But the biggest culprits is the HR, the inventory, and the EPOS. So even when you've got people who can help you set up and can help you make sure the printers go right, and we did all this, and I went and checked the EPOS yesterday, and honestly, I was there for 30 minutes because it was perfect. Like, that bit was great, but actually getting the content in there's a real issue with how that needs to be, and it was quite challenging in terms of understanding the terminology of specific POS, for example, in terms of where everything goes and the coding and the SL PLUs not being called PLUs, they're called something else that you have to get your head around, and then where it all gets mapped to, and going really granular. But there's still a lot of work on the operator that maybe because I hadn't done it before, I always used to sign the deal, make the mistakes, and pass it on to someone else. This time we were more involved because we were recording it. But there's no wonder hospitality people are scared to change when there's that many hours that needs to go into even getting close to being able to set up a back end of a system. So it's a really interesting one.
Well, I think what you said is very powerful, Scott. And like, that's obviously what we learn as storytellers is once you start to document it, not just for you and your client, but literally for anyone on YouTube that will find it, is like, if I find something like Polona and I'm really excited about it, I also need the help of Stephen. I need the help of Howard. I need the help of Eric. I need the help of this community, because we all want this technology to work. But like, Maria can only do what she can do. Like, I actually have to do my job to help her get the things that she needs for this, digital hospitality ecosystem to work.
Yeah, for sure.
Can I jump in a second? I had a conversation with a colleague of mine who now works for MarketMan. He used to work for an old school EPOS company. We were talking about when he used to sell POS, he used to.
POS, you mean point of sale, right?
Point of sale, yeah. So
that's like the posh way. That's the posh way. The Brits.
That's how we call it. POS.
POS.
POS. PDQs, but you don't call it PDQs. It's EFTs.
No, we don't call it that.
It's all about acronym. We're shorting it out. But he basically said when he was selling point of sale, there you go. He would be there for the whole process. So rather than what happens now is you get toast, they sell it to you. And then you're like, well, what about now? And then you're sort of left in the ether. Hence why Dan is jumping in all the time, because you need that technical partner to help you guide it. But he was saying to me, when he was selling point of sale, he would be there from start to end. It would be him coming in. You'd go in. You'd be with the sales guy. Then you'd have the implementation guy with the sales guy having the conversation with the client. Then you'd go from them. Implementation would go get it set up with the client. Before live, they'd go. He said to me, when they used to ship the boxes, the sales guy used to go to store before the boxes even were touched with the implementation guy and go, right, just confirming 3 point of sale here, 4 printers here, just so I'm getting it right. And you go, yeah, that's perfect. Implementation guy would go to install. He would be there chatting to the owner, making sure everything's fine. And then go live day, the sales guy and the implementation guy would be there. But it's completely changed now. Obviously there's a lot of self-service, but when Toast first started, it was very much like that. Handhold you, make sure you're good. But when you get to the point of being so big, even Square as well, when you get to the point of being so big, the self-service thing is great. The marketplace thing is great. So you can plug all the tools in. But if you're a small operator and you're starting, it's so overwhelming with what's there. So some people like to go, and I've spoken to some clients in the US as well, and they've gone back to old school POS. I just want a point of sale system that has basic stock, that has this and has that, and doesn't do all the frills. And then they're spending more time. There's no integrations because they're terrified of it. Now, I think the big challenge everywhere for operators is people don't know enough about what Dan does, about that help that's there. It's not just the infrastructure help, but it's also help you get set up and help you grow. Because listen, we're different over here, right? If we have 20 sites, it's big. You guys, it's like 200 sites. So you scale. I spoke to a client last week who were like 10, and then franchise kicks in, and they're now going to be 60 by the end of the year. So, you've got to be ready. And nowadays, especially if you've got a cool brand, I mean, look at Troy's expanding crazy, right? If you've got a cool brand, you need to be ready to have that tech stack to then expand. So that's one thing. And another thing I will say, people technology is going crazy at the moment. And over here and in Europe, there's some amazing tools with agentic tools plugged into it. I had a chat with a guy called Matt from Yuda. And what he's done is he's created this amazing tool that you can use for people management for your HR. So at the end of the shift, the little tool will pop up and say, how was your shift? And you would respond to that chat with, okay. Now, he's got a little AI agent that sits there checking, well, if someone says, okay, that's not good. It must be something going on. Hey, if it wasn't, it wasn't okay, was it? Let me know. It's fine. And then the response comes in and gets sent straight to his manager, and so on. And all these little questions that are there is unbelievable with what you can do. And these guys are building a tool to plug into your people management. So imagine, they were saying in the next 2 to 3 years, your GMs aren't going to be managing people, managing the HR and the paperwork. They're going to be looking after your team and communicating with your team, because the automation tools that are out there, keeping everyone happy. Now, if someone's had a kid, do you know if they've had a kid or not? If you're 1 to 2 or 3 sites, fine. But when you get to 10 and 15 sites and you've got 500 employees, he said to me, when you get to realize as a founder that you don't recognize that staff member at the checkout, you need a people person, and you need the technology. So I will say, more recently, especially with Facebook workplace going, that a lot of people were using, other brands are going to Slack, but Slack stuck with that communication. So I think AI with people is going to go, in the next couple of years, is going to go crazy. Over here we've got 2. One is the one I mentioned called Yudo, which is crazy good, and the other one is an all-in-one tool that brands over here are using. One's called All Gravy, and it's got the chat that you need to internal chat. It's got, if you want to change your shift, you can just pop a message in the chat and say, hey, I want to work on Saturday, who's free? And the agent will check it out, and the tool will understand who's actually free, and then either send messages to people and allow you to swap shifts, rather than the old school, oh, hold on, let me open up the Excel spreadsheet and find out who's free on this day. It's, some of the stuff is super, super, super crazy of what's going on out there at the moment.
But the way I'd work, so 2 things on that. First of all, when I did the inventory system, I asked the sales guy to show me his HubSpot funnel, because if you want to see a sales funnel that is like what a dream that you would want, it is these tech boys. They have a sales funnel like nothing else. That automation and that chase is phenomenal. So if anyone is struggling with a sales funnel, go and buy some tech. The other one is the people who don't need the help are the guys who have 10 sites and 20 sites because they have IT guys. The guys who need help in the situation I was saying is there's no point in having these fancy AI systems that help and get people back on the floor and automate and all this, because honestly, not many of them have 70 hours during an operation, or the knowledge, or the people, or the time, or the headspace to fill in the process bit first, which gives them all that information. And then a lot of the time in independence, they won't even have the policies that then can go into a HR AI driven thing. So this is where I think part of why we wanted to document this process is, and why I asked Chris Fletcher to kind of really challenge me and my ops guy, Bal, who's been doing it, is because there's a fundamental issue in the process bit at the start that gets the system up and running. That means we're setting the people who need the help the most, which is the independents who don't have IT people, don't have big resource, don't have cash, to be able to get these systems that are going to help them in place as quickly as possible, because it will save them money, it will make their lives easier, but we're not setting them up for success to do it. And I think that was the point that was going into it.
Great point. With respect to everyone's time, Maria, do you have a heart out? If you do, you can give us your closing words. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate your time. I know how busy you are as a tech founder building something incredible. Anything that you'd like to share with the community before you go?
Sure. Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed the conversation, enjoyed meeting with everyone here. And I'm glad to hear that you guys enjoyed interacting with Sean AI. We'll continue to make Sean AI smarter, more accurate, and more productive. Yeah, we're going to put Sean AI to work. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maria. We appreciate it. Dan, you have a heart out?
I can talk all day.
Okay, perfect. We'll go to Dean LeBay, and then we'll do a round of tip, takeaway, homework assignment. Dean LeBay.
Hey, Dean LeBay here from New Orleans. Glad to talk to everybody. Great show. Good seeing you, Dan. Fantastic booth. And Maddie Smokes just thinks you're the best thing since sliced bread. Listen, my take on the show was a little different. I enjoyed everything, but I went and talked to Wellbuilt, and I went and talked to Middleby about Internet of Things on the back end, and they're doing some really neat things where they're monitoring the equipment like your fryers, your refrigeration, everything in the back of the kitchen. And what they're doing is they're getting predictive predictability of the stuff that they're doing. They're starting to figure out when a sensor is going to go out in your fryer. When if you leave the refrigerator door open, it tells you all kinds of things, and it's getting really technical. So Dan, you better get ready for that. That's coming next. And I found it real interesting. Probably one of the biggest takeaways I got, believe it or not, was the AT&T booth. Everybody thinks about AT&T, they think about iPhones, but they've got a whole division that does connectivity. In other words, they connect all this stuff. They figured out how to present it in a way that tells the operator what's going on in their kitchen, to try to tell them and help them do repair work, maintenance work, make sure that the equipment's up and running, make sure the place doesn't burn down when you're not there and while you're there. And some of the data I saw from the Middle being well built was they're doing tests on all their stuff, but all the people that are out there using it right now, they're testing all that equipment. They're going back through history to find out how long the equipment's going to last. This is going to be important for equipment. This is going to be important for the independent operators, especially because the biggest cost is those costs that you don't expect, like when a fire goes down, the cost of replacing stuff. If we can cut that cost down, that helps the independent. And I did have a potato theory moment since I've left the show, left the NRA show. My whole, I'm fixing to make a pivot. I've been doing this wrong. I've been looking at the wrong market. And, we're trying to educate the independents and the people that have smaller business, medium business. And maybe I've been taking it to the wrong person. I think maybe I need to take it to the people that sell the food and maybe the people that sell the equipment and help educate them so they can educate the restaurants. And I was listening to Scott earlier talking about Marquee. Every independent operator in the United States, if they don't have anything but two pieces of tech, they need to have Marquee and they need to have Ovation. That's going to help retain and keep customers in their store. And, of course, a TOS system. And so, anyway, that's it. I think it's a great show. I'm glad I went. And it's beautiful in New Orleans. Have a good one.
Amazing. Thank you, Dean. One of the coolest things I saw was Toast released a new ad product. It's called it's Toast. It's a Toast ad product, but you can log into Toast and manage your Google ads, your Meta ads, all in one place, and actually track the ROI on it. You can go to Toast's YouTube page. You can go to their LinkedIn page. We did a video. It is in beta, but I'm sure they said, just reach out to your local rep and they can get you into that Toast ad product. The other one was Ring. Ring for restaurants. For those that don't know, Ring was at the show. Yes, the same Ring that you protect your house with, the camera that we all know and love. I have that same app. I can see our restaurant now. So we have a Ring unboxing video that we're going to be sharing very soon on YouTube. We did some content with the Ring people. So if you're a business owner and you're looking at security, Dan's shaking his head because we've had conversations with Ring and F3 as well, how F3 can help you get those Ring security systems installed in your place. And then Pepsi was the last one. What's up, Dean?
No, that's what I was going to say. For God's sake, say something about Pepsi and what they're doing for the independent guys.
Yeah, Pepsi, we did a full menu audit. We have a video that's going to be released on our restaurant technology Substack newsletter. So they did a menu optimization. They have over 1 million menus that they've optimized. So they have tools for free if you are a Pepsi customer. Stephen and Eric and myself, we went through our Uber menu, our DoorDash menu, and added much sexier photos of the 2-liter bottles and the single units. Having the right photos, adding combo meals. Pepsi has so many insights that they're now sharing with owner operators to help them drive more sales to their delivery business. So check out Pepsi. And let's go ahead. Dan, tip, takeaway, homework assignment. Thank you for taking your time. Thank you to F3. Thank you to Dan, the other Dan Diaz, Hunter, the whole F3 team. You guys were rock stars. I heard the party was phenomenal. You guys know how to throw a Chicago party. So thank you for the hospitality.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you all that came. Dean, obviously kind words there. Tip, I think kind of going back to Scott's point is looking for a technology company that knows restaurants. I think a lot of times you're going to have those true old school IT companies are going to do your network, they're going to do your Wi-Fi, they're going to do that, but they don't know expo, they don't know hot, they don't know cold, they don't know how to recognize that server that's first day is a new point of sale, about to cry in the walk-in kind of moment. And that's one shout out for F3 is we bring people from the industry and teach them tech. And that's something that when you do look for a tech provider, find someone that has that restaurant background. To your point, Scott, they can help you not just that site readiness in that first location, but are there to learn your business. And that's one thing that I have a lot of pride in with our team is we don't just say, okay, cool, we're going to charge you a fee and take care of your stuff. It's let's get photographs of your restaurant. We send technicians in to understand when you say hot, okay, where is that in proximity to cold and things like that for some of those oh crap moments. I'll keep it PG. When things have to be iterated or taken care of in the moment on a Friday night, we know exactly what we can fail over to. We know exactly where we can reroute things that won't cause an operational interference that would be worse than like you just not have it happen. So that's my one tip, my one takeaway. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Sean, I told you I'd drop it on the call. Glad to be on here. Great group of people on the call today. And homework is just partnering with everybody here and just getting ready to carry on 2025 and eventually, and sorry, Hunter, make our way across the pond and get with Adam and get with Scott.
There
and
you
get
go.
Over to you.
Now we're talking. Yeah, and just a reminder, we have a Slack channel for this community. We have a LinkedIn channel. We have an Instagram channel. Whatever you're building, whatever you're doing, please join those channels because this community will support you. If you're showing up in an event, if you have a podcast, if you have a post, if there's someone you want to get connected to, this community will help you out. And we repurpose these on the Digital Hospitality Podcast. And we're doing a lot of work on Cali Barbecue Media's YouTube channel. So please go support those. Bruce Nelson, tip, takeaway, homework assignment.
Well, all I gotta say is it's always amazing how supportive this hospitality industry is, and I'm reminded of that every time I go to the NRA show. My homework is to summarize all my AI and tech findings at the NRA show. It'll be out on my Sunday morning Substack. So
amazing.
I'm glad to see more of our community on Substack, and reach out to me if you want to learn more about that platform.
Amazing. Thank you, Bruce. And just a reminder, if anyone wants to host next Wednesday, we have an open availability to host this show. So if you want to host, just send us a message. We will be more than happy to help promote whatever you want to talk about. This community will show up to support you. Dean LeBay, tip, takeaway, homework assignment.
Just keep doing what you're doing, guys. I found it amazing at the show how many people are on LinkedIn and how many people aren't. I think that's one platform we need to all be on. That's where business is going to be taken care of. So anyway, just keep bring somebody with you. If you're really trying to help out the restaurant industry, bring a restaurant owner. Eat local. Shout out. Be the raving fan of your favorite restaurant. Thanks.
Thank you, Dean LeBay. Appreciate it. And thank you, Ian, for watching. Anybody that's been watching on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, we appreciate it. Scott Turner, tip, takeaway, homework assignment. Oh, Adam's back. Scott, go ahead.
Yeah. Honestly, brilliant chat. And it's really relevant to where we are right now. But I think my big one is to just keep logging every single detail, because I think it's listening to this. I think it's really going to help as well, and really drive that out. And then I credit to everyone who was at NRA, because honestly, I was sat there watching on LinkedIn and YouTube and everything else, and it felt like I was part of the show. So I already asked the boss and got it signed off for next year. So I'm gonna come next year. We're gonna have some fun in Chicago. But honestly, everyone who was there doing content, it was phenomenal. So yeah, can't wait to see some more videos as well, Sean.
Cheers. Thank you, Scott. Adam, tip, takeaway, homework assignment.
Well, quick tip: if Scott can ask the boss to pay for me as well, that'd be really lovely. So I'd love to come too. So I'm sure Scott can.
After all the business over the years, it should be you paying for me.
Well, sorry. Tip for me is literally we had a client earlier last week asking about CCTV stuff, and it's such a rip-off, to be honest with you. And they were talking about unified cameras. So if the ring thing's happening, I'm up for. My house is completely covered in it, and we were worried about quality and stuff when it comes to that. So I'm definitely gonna my homework's gonna be looking at the ring stuff, and everyone else's homework. Look at more automations, because if you can automate it, it will save you time.
Richard's asking, can I come as well, lads? Road trip. Is it a road trip if you have to get on a plane?
Always.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well,
we could drive it. It might take a bit longer.
You can drive it. I would love for you guys.
To
if
be
you
honest,
could document driving it, that would be great.
If you've ever flown economy with British Airways, you'll soon know it's definitely like a road trip. So we can definitely class it as that.
It can't be as bad as Spirit Airlines.
No, probably not. No,
probably not. Okay, fair enough. Full tank of gas. There you go. Stephen, take away homework assignment.
Well, why not I just say I got the boss on this call, Sean? I gotta go to Chicago next year, man, with you.
Oh yeah, 100%. Restaurant will run itself by then. I'm convinced.
Well, I mean, we'll have AI Sean to do half the job. We're good.
It's cool with me. If AI Sean can start hosting all the podcasts that I host too, that would be great. I'll just be chilling in Bulgaria.
You need to do a podcast with Sean against Sean.
I have big plans for AI Sean. I don't know. I should probably tell Maria it's gonna be much more than just selling barbecue at the restaurant.
Tip is, I'm gonna just take your quote, be the show, not the commercial.
Yes.
I mean, especially when we're gearing up for the Memorial Day news segment on Monday.
Oh, yeah, we're going on the news, bringing the Wolf Pack and Steven on the news.
Nice. And homework assignment is to continue to dissect AI Sean and make it the best version that we can.
There it is. We appreciate it. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Stover, for producing. That's it, guys. Have a great weekend. Have a great Memorial Day for those that are celebrating. And we have an open slot next Wednesday. That's your chance. Be the host, be the show, not the commercial. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Bruce, Dean, Adam, Scott, and everyone who joined us online. We appreciate you.